Now we're going to do something. I'm going to put you on the spot, mister.
Uh-huh.
Probably best if I go to Discord and share screen. So you've got it in live. So you can watch that and not the actual stream. What we're going to do is there's a number of people watching who are playing on my server. We are going to, let me turn on COT is online, and Y brings it up. Items, object spawner. Right. We're going to show people how to do ammo making.
Oh, okay, cool.
So what do we need? I've got a pistol die on me.
So to make the ammo workbench, you're going to need 5 planks and 4 workbench legs. The name for it is plank, if you're looking for individual planks.
Oh. God damn it. How do I delete something? That was something I didn't work
open
out
your
how
thing. Go to object spawner. Click delete. Yes.
So plank. Proxy single plank. Wooden plank.
Wooden plank. There you go. And you're going to need something called workbench legs. Now, folks, you can get workbench legs by taking a hand saw, not a hacksaw, to a building log, and it will give you 2 workbench legs per cut at the very top.
Workbench legs.
You got to set the quantity to 4. Okay, and then you combine the planks with the workbench legs, and it will make a workbench for you. I need to redo the memory for that. You take it into your hands, you can place it. Now, I know that the placement, the holding of the hands is kind of wonky in first person, but I made it purposely that way because I wanted people to be able to see where they can place it.
Yep.
Okay. Now you need to put together what's called a press. So, you need a press parts. So you need the press body, the press die, the press mechanism, the press lever. Yeah, and the press mounting plate.
Press handle.
Yep, and you need the press mounting plate, and you need the press mechanism, and you need the casing holder at the very top. Press casing holder. Okay.
And these are all items people can find?
Yes. So these spawn in the world. The only one that doesn't spawn in the world is the mechanism with the lever attached already. So the cool thing about this, folks, is you can combine the body in any order with any other piece. So what he's doing right now is he's attaching the mechanism with the handle that's already attached to it to the press body. And then now you'll see it in his hands. You'll see that it has the thing attached to it. You can combine all of these in any order that is logically sound, and it will put it together. And it will tell you the stages and stuff, what you might need next.
I like that.
In the description.
Hey, a not ready plate, a almost ready plate. I just like the names.
Yeah. I wanted people to realize that, like, and then you take the completed ammo press and combine it with the ammo workbench. Now, if you have a completed ammo workbench, and let's say somebody finds your base and breaks into it, they have to use a crowbar to get the workbench off because it's too large to put inside of a car or anything. Now
That's
you
cool.
have to put a digital scale and a funnel on it. Just type scale, yeah. And then we need a funnel. And then if you look at it, that's weird. Shouldn't be doing that. If you look at the scale shows a 0 grams on it. And then when you attach it to the workbench, it shows 43 grams. Yeah, I need to fix that then. It shouldn't show attach
The press again.
Press again.
That's all right. This is still fucking amazing work, mate. Don't.
Okay, so now that you have a ammo press, what you can do is you can spawn in what's called prepped ammo.
How do you make that?
So to make prepped ammo, you take okay, well let's start with this. Spawn in a pair of pliers and unbox your thing.
So we need pliers.
Mm-hmm. Now go ahead and once you get the pliers, go to your stack and split it. Now folks, one of the things we introduced thanks to Kniforia is variable ammo crafting. You can now take apart any amount of ammo you want and put together any amount of ammo you want. It doesn't matter as long as you have the right amount of ingredients to do so. So when he takes apart this ammo, folks, go ahead and pull it apart. You're going to see he gets tips, casings, and gunpowder. Now he's not going to get back all of the tips and all of the casings, and he's going to get back some of the gunpowder. So you can't take apart ammo and then just put it back together again. And I know that's a mistake. It's showing the rubber bullet texture when it shouldn't be.
That's all right. That's all right. This is early days. I know this mod's not that old, but this is don't be so critical of the finer stuff, mate. Yeah, what you've created here is something that a lot of people who love the harder aspect of DayZ are excited for. You know, like I said, on my server, this sort of ammo is going to be more plentiful. This and 22, 357 is going to be more plentiful. The higher caliber military stuff is going to be rare, if not rare as fucking hen's teeth, and people are going to have to craft it. This adds to a lot of us who don't just want to run and gun. This adds you can hear the excitement in my voice. I'm finally getting to do this and show people. And by the way, this is going to go up as a video on my channel as well. A little mini spotlight on an amazing mod. But yeah, the fine tuning of it is that'll come down the line. I think people are just excited to be able to do something else that makes sense in this apocalyptic world. So we've got our 380 tips and we've got 380 casings.
Now there should be gunpowder somewhere around you.
Unless it's defaulted into my inventory. Yes, it has.
There you go. So you see, folks, how he has 18 casings and he has 18 tips. Now, he did pull it apart, but it's because I have a random variable math script in there for the tips and casings. So you won't always get back 100% of the tips and casings when you pull it apart. And if he were to take the gunpowder and try to combine it with the empty casings, he'd only be able to fill, like, let's say, well, why don't you actually put the gunpowder on the ground and then try to fill the 18 casings. So what you do, folks, is you take the casings, you combine it with gunpowder, and you can fill them. Now, there is a little bit of a spillage factor, so when you're filling, you should get back a certain amount of filled casings versus non-filled casings. So
we've got 10
you can also
filled and 8 left over.
Yep. And that's from the 18 you pulled apart. So you could make 8. You can make 10 bullets if you pulled apart 18, and you don't have enough gunpowder to make more. Gunpowder is possible to craft, but it's based off of the server's nominals they wish to do. Now you combine the 10. Yep, there you go. And you prepare the 380 casing. Once this is prepared, you can then use it on the workbench, and it will make the ammo. Now, when I made this mod originally, folks, I did not know how to do actions. So this is a crafting recipe rather than an action. Now that I know how to do actions, you're going to be able to do it. See, and you have 10 ammo.
Now, how do I go about crafting, because we've got more rounds here. Oh, we just look at the pliers. How do I go about crafting new... Skipping.
Okay, so what you can do is, if you take casings or tips, you can fill in what's called a crucible. So if you spawn in the crucible for me.
Empty crucible?
Yes. So, I need to fix that. I don't know why the texture's broken. People tell me that it's not, but I find it is. Alright, so you can find these crucibles around the map. They're big, they're heavy metal things, right? And you can fill them with tips or casings. I think it has to be a full stack of tips or casings because I haven't done the variable ammo yet. But it fills it up, and you have to fill it up to a certain degree. You have to fill it up based off of what you do. So there's a thing called a... you can actually spawn in the casings itself.
Oh. Casing.
You're going to have to set the max to 35. Okay, so if you take the tips or the casings and combine it with the crucible, you'll see what happens. Okay, so folks, you see how if he looks at the crucible, there's a percentage on the crucible is 10%. So that amount of tips fill it up only 10%. When you go to put this on the smelter, you can get back a variable amount based off of the percentage that it started out, it was filled at.
And we just added 2 more. So now it's at 30%.
The crucible is meant to be huge. The reason being is because it is meant to be a long-term reusable item. It pretty much never takes any damage because it is a crucible. Like, these things are like meant to be durable.
Okay, so we're now 60% full. Hey,
Yep.
Rudy. So what do we do with it now?
Now you can spawn in what's called a smelter. And you need to spawn in propane.
Standalone smelter?
Yep. of course.
And these are objects you can find in the world?
Gas, my bad.
Expansion
Large.
propane tank or expansion propane torch? Propane tank?
Not those. It's called gas. It's the vanilla gas canisters. All right, cool. Now just pick it up and drop it real quick.
And that combines, and then you just switch it on.
Yeah. Now, folks, mind you, if you have a small, it will lock and it will stay locked until the metal is technically done melting. Now, the amount of time that it takes isn't necessarily 100% realistic, but the temperature that it requires to unlock is realistic. If you have a crucible filled with casings, and let's say you only you have a small canister on it, it will never lock because it doesn't have enough gas to truly melt the casings before it runs out of gas. Like, it would never make brass out of it because brass has an incredibly high melting temperature.
So how long does it take roughly?
I think if I can look at the math real quick here. Let's see here.
Does it make a noise to let you know, like, when you?
I don't have any noises yet.
No, that's fine.
Let's see here.
And you can melt the casings down as well?
Yes, you can. So the lead takes 120 minutes. Oh, not 20 minutes, 120...
Seconds?
Yeah, I think so.
So 2 minutes? And so how will I know when it's done?
It will unlock. So when you look at the your inventory, you see how it has no interface.
Yep.
It can't touch it. That's called lock inventory, and it means that you can't touch anything in the inventory, can't just take anything out, whatever, right? You want to spot some gloves too.
Oh, you need gloves. Just any type of gloves?
Any type of gloves. As long as they inherit off the glove base.
Otherwise, what would happen?
You wouldn't be able to pick up the metal. So, you see it now, you can do that, but if you're not wearing gloves and it's over 80 Celsius, you can't put it in your hands. Okay, I'm freaking lying.
That's all right. That's a great plan, though. I like that you've got that. That's always something that's kind of annoyed me with even cooking. You've got this cooking pot full of boiled water and stuff like that, and you can pick it up with your bare hands. But so I like that that's going to be a function down the line. So what do we do now?
All right, go over to that pistol mold that you have. Voila.
So this doesn't need to get attached to the bench at all?
Nope. You're pouring metal into the mold.
Yep.
Now, folks, do note that if your metal is not hot enough, you can't pour the metal.
So you need to do it instantly?
No. Well, yes, but let's say your metal gets too cold, right?
And it just created 45 ACP tips.
Yep. Now, the molds that are in this version, folks, are really strong. They're really durable. In my upcoming forging mod, which will allow you to make molds out of clay, they'll be a lot weaker, and they only give half stacks.
Not letting me do any more, yet there's still 10% in there.
So your metal's too cold. So it's showing 400 Celsius, but in reality, it's probably like 350. So to heat it back up, go back over to the thing and reattach it. And it will reheat the metal for you. So, folks, you don't have to every single time lock the thing. If you ever get to the point where, let's say you have like 2% metal in your crucible, folks, you can combine it with the smelter, standalone smelter, and it will give you back an empty crucible. Yeah, don't stand too close to the smelter, folks. It is an incredibly hot item.
1800 degrees. So what temperature should this be at so you know it's hot enough? Because it's not locking now.
Yeah, it doesn't lock when it's reheating. It just raises the temperature back up.
Okay. So what temperature do I need to get it to?
For lead tips, it needs to be I have it saying 150 degrees.
Oh, shit.
Did you just pass out because of sleep?
No. My temperature just went to flashing red really quick.
Yeah. Like I said, folks, it's a dangerous thing.
This is a really fascinating mod, mate. This is the sort of mod that DayZ needs more of. And if you want to find it, yes, I've got it on my server, but New Dawn server is where you'll find this, and not just this, but some other amazing mods, such as the metal casting one that he's got coming up. So, okay, we'll just leave that. We'll forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this. Now, I'm guessing there is also a metal pistol casings mold you can find in the game.
And a rifle and rifle tips and casings as well.
So you would do the same process. You would melt. Basically, can you make casings out of tip melting?
No.
No, so it has to be casings to make casings and tips to make tips.
Exactly.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. It's a mechanic. So what I'll do is object spawner.
Now, you can also make gunpowder from scratch.
Okay, we'll do that in a sec. Tips. No, we've got tips. We need casings. So casings, cursor. Oh, no, we need to set that to max 25. There we go.
And don't forget, you need gunpowder.
So we've now got these. Awesome. Now, how do you make gunpowder?
Okay, so type in sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate are all the three things that you want to spawn. I just go back to
sulfur.
Yep.
20-pound bag. Cursor.
Now, folks, this bag was made by the lad. He's one of my fellow.
Nitrate.
Yep.
Proxy or potassium nitrate.
Potassium nitrate. This is another texture he made. And then finally charcoal tablets.
As in the medical.
Yes. Yep. Now, you combine, I believe it's the sulfur and the potassium nitrate together. No, it's the charcoal tablets.
Fucking charcoal just became a lot more valuable on this server.
Okay. And then combine the potassium with charcoal, and you can make gunpowder. Now what will happen is it will make gunpowder, but it will only use so much of the 20-pound bag because it is freaking 20 pounds. These three components to make gunpowder are completely controlled server side. So if a server owner wants to make it incredibly hard to make gunpowder, all they have to do is make these components difficult to find. The potassium nitrate and the sulfur bags being rare to find would make gunpowder extremely hard to produce.
And we just made, where did they go?
Backpack.
And then we get them out and we go over here.
If you drink a soda, you won't be so tired.
Yeah, if I had one, I would.
No, I mean like in game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If I had one, I would. Oh, there they are. 25 ACP rounds. Fucking love it. I love it.
And remember, folks, it's variable. You can make everything from the very beginning of combining tips to filling the casings with gunpowder to combining the tips with the casings to making the ammo is all variable. So you can make one to a stack of a full stack. It doesn't matter of the ammo itself. It doesn't have to be a full stack all the time anymore. And I will fix the frickin' crucible textures and stuff, as well as some of the other problems that I have seen.
This is brilliant, mate. This is absolutely brilliant.
What's cool is a guy that I've been helping a lot called Medic, folks, has suggested that I make it so the standalone smelter and the molds can be placed onto the workbench as attachments, just for storage purposes. So I'll be doing that soon enough.
Yeah, I would love to see like down the line, and if I know this is all oh, what am I doing? Wrong one. But more animations. Yeah, if we can chip in somehow to get some custom animations made, so that when you're at the workbench, it's doing motions that look like you're actually creating, and just yeah,
but we can do actions. Custom animations are not possible in the DayZ engine right now. We don't have the ability to do that. But let me show you something real quick. Go to your object, go to your powers, and go to ESP. Click unknown objects, unknown items, and click show. You can now checkbox everything in that area. And delete all. Isn't that nice? So when you're doing these kind of things, you don't have to go through the delete thing all the time. Yeah, those ones might be a little bit difficult to do because they're all stacked, but most times you can do it for a lot of the stuff.
This is awesome, mate. This is an amazing fucking mod. I cannot say enough just how impressed I am with this mod.
Yeah. One of the biggest things that I have to say that is saddening to me when it comes to this mod is that I put it on the workshop and I haven't got enough feedback because it's been on the workshop for almost a year now. And because I don't get a whole lot of feedback on the mod itself, like bugs, issues, stuff like that, I haven't been able to really solidify / polish this to the amount that I would like it to be. Like the fact that attaching a scale also gives you the option to attach a press body. That should not be the case at all. And stuff like that. I love feedback. I love feedback as long as it's constructive, mind you.
Yeah, and oh god, fucking I am the worst admin ever.
It's okay,
mate. This is gold. This is absolute fucking gold. I know I talked about it the other day, but this is something I've been wanting to do, and I've got no idea how many people are watching right now, but that is just, yeah. The real pressing question is, how did I get a wound infection?
A wounded infection?
Yeah.
Or how did you?
Yeah, I'm getting the blurry vision and.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Interesting.
I love that. I love that mod, mate. Hardcore servers everywhere need to implement it because it just adds, yeah, it adds. If you make it rare enough, you know, someone can get someone gets their press up and working, and they can then, you know, do a business with other players, create an economy, trading. You know, you bring me 10 boxes of 380, and I'll give you 20 rounds of Winchester if that's what you need. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what our mods on New Dawn have been inspired by, is we're not trying to replace vanilla mechanics or functions, but we're complementing, right? But we're going, hey, we want to change this about our game and make our server more hardcore. But it wouldn't be fair to the players to suddenly out of nowhere have no way to make ammo and have ammo incredibly rare to find. That wouldn't be very fun. So we're all like, hey, let's make it so players can make their own ammo. So we started off with just being able to pull apart ammo and craft ammo at the ammo workbench. And then I learned how to do the smelting and all that kind of fun stuff. So like, it was definitely something that spawned from the idea of I wanted to make the game harder without insulting its core ideals.
Like oh geez, I just realised I need to sleep. The other one I really love is your leather crafting mod. I know the barrel is what a lot of people use, but I love your one because it's actually creating a tanning rack and yeah, just brilliant.
Oh, I made that because you can't use the barrel anymore unless somebody mods it in.
Yeah, I've seen mods of it. Oh, what am I doing carrying that stuff? I don't own that. Admin abuse, you all saw it. Admin abuse.
I saw it too.
Fucking cancel New Dawn.
And that hardcore backpack mod, I really gotta look at that.
It's brilliant, mate. I fucking love it with a passion.
Well, I know about it. I know actually quite a bit about it. So the mod author is a really cool guy, and the reason why I know he's cool is because I never spoken to him directly, but our friend Mass from Mass's Many Item Overhaul, many folks know about, made another mod before this, like almost a year and a half ago, called Immersive Backpacks. He had an issue with it though, where whenever somebody logged on and off to the server, it would delete all the items in the backpack. So he gave up on it.
Yep.
Then he tried to tackle it again with me and Iforia's help, and we fixed it. And then the funny thing is after we fixed it, he comes to us and goes, guys, there's already a mod on the workshop that does this. We're like, what? And it had released literally like 2 weeks before we had fixed his. The guy was so freaking polite and was talking with Mass, and Mass was like, you know what? You're such a great guy. You were so polite to me. I'm just going to remove my mod from the workshop, and I'm going to let you have all the glory for it because you did all the coding, and your mod is far better than mine. Like, his actually, like you said, doesn't allow you to hotbar items from the backpack, but Mass's did. You know, stuff like that. And it was really cool to see this guy, like, actually be a polite person towards Mass, as well as Mass be nice to him. But yeah, the mod author is nice.
To hear, man. Because at the moment, you and I were talking yesterday, and one of the things that saddens me is just how competitive some people in the DayZ community are. And I understand it. You know, I'm not naive enough to realise at the end of the day it's a competition for players and all the rest of it. But I just like to think that if we played nicer, it'd be better for the community overall. We don't always need to be at each other's throats fucking bloody, yeah.
What are you talking about? You're stealing my players. I'm kidding. Never mind that, folks. It's a bad joke. Don't worry about it. Speaking of players, I have 44 out of 60 on my server. Yes!
That's awesome, mate. I've been plugging it for you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the people's efforts towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been around for 2.5 years, and we go through tons of dead spans of lifetime. So it doesn't really bother us when we don't have much of a player base.
Yeah.
because we know it's going to come back eventually.
I've got to set this to your eyes closed as well. I don't know how to do that. It's probably in a file somewhere, but...
I'm not sure if Lucian ever did that.
Yeah, no, we had it on DayZ Down Under.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You sure it wasn't a mod? Like,
Don't know.
addition to his mod?
Don't know.
Yeah. On my ammo making mod, folks, if you're running a server and you know how to mod, go ahead and feel free to mod my walk times on my smelting or the gunpowder requirements, anything you want. I don't care if you mod my mod. It's totally legit. Actually, I probably don't even have a say anyway if you do anyway, but just so you know. Also, if you don't know how to mod recipes and you want to use my mod but you want to make it easier or harder, just shoot me a little message. I'll teach you how to do it. It takes like 20 minutes.
And I can back him up on this, guys. He spent probably a good 2 hours with me, if not more, yesterday, just helping me find what I'd done wrong to break my server. Dump is one of the unsung heroes of the DayZ modding community. He's always happy to help, and yeah, he's what I call a true believer in DayZ, folks. So yeah.
Yeah. Did you see I sent you what ticket bot we use in our Discord, and I told you how the rule thing works?
Yep. So I've had some experience playing with bots in server, so I should be able to manage to set that up. But yeah, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. I fucking love that ammo mod, mate. But now, tell us about the metal smelting one. What are you going to be able to create with it?
Well, when it is pushed to the workshop, you'll be able to mine ores, and the ores will be dynamic spawns like cars and rocks and mushrooms and stuff like that. And when you mine a ore from it, let's say you find a boulder with a zinc vein in it. Yep. When you mine it and you go through the action, it'll produce a 1 zinc ore, and it will minus the quantity from the boulder. Yep. What's cool about this is because when it reaches 0 quantity, it will delete the boulder, which will make
it's going to be like a stack of planks.
Yeah, but it will be a dynamic spawn around the map, so people will have to run around and find these dynamic boulders that have ore.
Yep.
So you'll be able to make your own brass from scratch. You'll be able to melt down lead ore to make lead. Yep. You can melt down iron to make cast iron, impure iron, and finally pure iron. And then there's going to be better smelters in the future that will allow you to make better stuff. What's cool about all this?
Craft tools, I'm guessing. So this
yes, you will be able to craft tools.
A server like mine, where you want to make readily found tools hard to find, but you want to encourage people to, again, maybe start an economy in trading in tools.
Exactly. And these tools will not have the same strength as vanilla tools at all. They will be weaker. I can actually show you some of the basic stuff I got going, but that's if you want me to. But
it seems like people are enjoying this. So let me just log out, and then you can share your screen, and we can show people. Okay. Fuck me. I've got half an hour.
I'm sorry.
You're right.
Did I take up your time?
No. This is awesome stuff. Okay, so we've got your stream up. Give me a sec. Make it full screen. And desktop. Here we go.
Okay.
Sadly, this is the best quality we can get, folks, but...
Yeah. So... So you'll be able to make makeshift anvils, as well as be able to find a steel anvil.
Yep.
Now, I know they spawn damaged, but the makeshift anvils can be made. This can be found, right? When you have a steel anvil, you can... Sorry, folks. So, you have your steel anvil here, and you can do attachments to it. So, there is an ND stump, which you can find, well, you can craft in the world by digging up a stump. I'm still working on that action. Go. Okay, so when you find the anvil in the world, you can't use it until you actually put it onto a stump. So when you put it onto a stump, it will raise up into the air, and then you can actually craft on it. In the future, I will be adding the hardy and the mandrel hole attachments. This tool right here, if anyone is a professional blacksmith, would realize that this is making for smaller rings and more delicate circles. This is for like cutting metal and creating 90-degree angles if you don't want to use the edge of your anvil all the time. And the horn obviously is better. This is the strongest anvil that will ever be in my mod, and it will be only in the economy. And because it spawns with the attachments to it, if only 5 of these are allowed and 5 people have them, it won't spawn anymore. So people will have to make makeshift ones. This is my testing grounds.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take clay, you find clay by digging up a riverbed. See if I can find a riverbed real quick. This will work, I think. Sorry, folks. I always forget where a good riverbed is.
I'm not even sure what you mean by a riverbed.
Yeah, I'm trying to show you folks. Here we go. All right, so folks, to get clay, you have to find a riverbed. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. Oh, it's because I don't have the mod loaded. I use it's called BB's Mining Plus or whatever. But you would dig up this riverbed full of rocks here, and you would get clay, and it's an action. It's a really cool action. It's like digging up a garden plot. And you get these ND clay lumps, or they are called clay for you. Then you combine 5 wooden sticks, and you will get what is called a simple smelter, or a crude smelter, rather, to be honest. It takes a little while to create, so I'm not going to do it, but it spawns in one of these. Okay. And voila. These are pretty interesting. You take 10 coal plus 10 coal to make stacked coal,
And that's something you obviously mine?
Yes. And then when you put the coal into it, it makes it so you can't pick it back up yet. And you have to have a blowtorch, and the blowtorch has to be on, and then you have to ignite it. This is kind of the same thing with my ammo making. I didn't know how to do actions when I first made this.
That's fine.
But
people are used to the default action.
all right, and there it is. And what's cool is if you go to nighttime, kind of does that.
That is pretty cool.
Now, if you get ore, now just like my ammo making mod, you combine ore with a crucible to make a crucible filled with ore. So, zinc ore, iron ore, lead ore, stuff like that. And what it does is it goes into this slot. This slot is a mystery because you have to figure that out. And then this outputs the molten metal right here.
Well, that's just a simple recipe, isn't it, to create the final metal that you want to create. Combining two metals together will create another metal.
Yeah, no, I made it so you have to use both these attachment slots and have the thing locked to create the alloyed metals. It's kind of an anal thing, but it's a lot more realistic. But then you can make. Let me turn back to Dave for you guys. But then you can make what's called a improved smelter. So that smelter can make all the metals, but you get cast iron out of that one. And this one can make impure iron. Now, I haven't figured out how I'm going to make pure iron necessarily achievable, but it's probably going to be packing up impure iron and clay and stuff like that to draw out the impurities. If you take a sledgehammer to your simple smelters or any of your smelters, you can smash it and it will leave that little pile of rubble.
Yep.
Or this pile. And those piles by default are set to stay in the world for like 4 hours, so you can see if somebody griefed the crap out of you. People have seen my forge on Twitter. Pretty much attached the coal.
Yep, I saw that video.
All of these timers, folks, are subject to change. For testing purposes, everything's shortened. I just don't like to spend 5 hours trying to light something. But yeah, there it goes. Throw the ingot in there. It heats up. Grab some stuff. What's cool is...
Got a question in chat. When will this mod be ready to use?
I'm like really close to pushing the forging update, because I have the smelting update all done, but the forging update is like right around the corner. I'm like working super hard on it. But you'll be able to...
So there'll be different recipes at this stage of what you want to forge?
Yeah.
And obviously the better the quality of the anvil, the better the quality of the outcome?
No, the better quality of the anvil, the longer the anvil lasts.
Okay. So still the same outcome, regardless of the quality of... Yep.
Yep. So then you can hammer on your thing, and it will output the material of the ingot to the material of what you were trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
So voila. And then you have that. And there's all kinds of different axes. Well, there's two different kinds of axes, but different stages.
So how do you make the handle?
For this guy, the handle's like really easy. So all cast iron tools will use short sticks or long sticks. The reason being is because cast iron is such trash, you would never really spend time making a handle. So There's the hammer.
Yep.
There's the pick. And then here is the axe.
No shovel?
Oh yeah, there's a shovel.
Yep.
Apologies. Now, mind you, folks, this looks like trash, but it's meant to look like trash. Like, this is
I like them.
crap that you would make no matter what. And all of this stuff works as intended. If I'm not lying.
Just wears out quicker than a vanilla one would.
Yep. It does all the vanilla actions. It does building vanilla actions and stuff like that. This is an example of the Impure Iron Hammer. You can see the handle's far better. You're going to be able to craft the handle from just whittling down a piece of firewood. And then there's a long handle that you can craft.
Yep.
So, yeah, like that. What I'm really proud of is the axe, the Impure axe. It's kind of like a bearded axe. It definitely fits the.
Yep. Like a Viking sort of axe.
Yeah. You'll be able to make your own nails in this mod.
Which I love.
What I've done, and I've worked kind of tirelessly to do this. I do have to say thank you to Not a Banana for pointing me in the right direction.
Another good egg in the DayZ community.
So you have different types of materials of nails. Now, don't be fooled, folks. The material of nail matters when you're making walls. So right now, it takes 15 nails to make let's say, one frame of a wall. Then that's vanilla nails. It would take 40 cast iron nails, or 45, I believe, actually, to make the same frame. Impure iron nails is
this
lower.
Going to be compatible with expansion mod?
Yes, I already have done that.
Awesome.
Yeah, but they all consume different amounts of the material of the nails based off of what you're trying to build. And
have you got a link to your ammo mod for starters? Man Bear Pig does a PvE server. He's asking, what do I search in the workshop to find your mod?
Yeah, it's just on That's my fellow admin, folks. B-Dub. Really good guy. There you go. All right.
There you go, in chat.
But yeah, all of this stuff is craftable by you, made by you, all that kind of stuff. My iron hatchet's kind of cool. So one of the things I hate about iron hatchets, or hatchets from Vanilla DayZ, is that you walk up to a tree, you can cut down a tree, you walk up to a fence, and you smash nails in with the sharp end of the hatchet.
Yes.
Well, I changed that.
Nice.
So, there you go. We have the sharp end right here. You can cut down a tree. See, cut down a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it around. And now I can hammer with it.
That's just a great little quality of life thing. It does bug me as well. I've seen people comment on it before as well. Mate, this is amazing. This is fucking amazing stuff.
Oh yeah, and Mass made this for me. So I broke it down into parts, but I'll show it to you folks. So Mass made me a iron dagger you can craft. Now, if anyone knows Skyrim, you immediately recognize this. And I even made a little joke in the description about it. But Mass modeled this off the Skyrim dagger.
That's pretty cool.
And you can
really
forge
cool, man.
the blade, the hilt, and the pommel on the anvil, and you'll be able to whittle the handle itself from a short handle. And you combine them to make the dagger. This is what it looks like in hand.
That is awesome. This is starting to... one of my favorite games of all time is The Long Dark. And on the very hardcore mode of that, you pretty much need to craft your knife and everything like that from stuff you find in the world. This is starting to allow DayZ to get a bit of The Long Dark, because The Long Dark is probably the best survival game out there, in my opinion. And this is now allowing DayZ to add some stuff that was sorely lacking from the vanilla version of the game. This is brilliant, mate. This is absolutely fucking brilliant.
Now, mind you, folks, I know that the dagger isn't perfect, but it can be put into a boot. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that feature, but we'll see.
Please do. Please do. That looks pretty cool.
But yeah, this is where I am so far with all of this work that I have. Yeah.
Anything else in the pipeline? Anything else that might excite people?
Yes, after I finish the forging update, it's going to be my brewing update, which will make it so you can brew your own liquors and stuff like that. And thanks to medical attention's examples, I'll be able to learn how to make it so you can like get blurry vision / laugh and stuff like that as well with it.
Can I make a suggestion to something that people would really like? And I know it's something I would love on my server.
Mm-hmm.
Crafting meds.
So crafting meds is cool, but it would also require a ton of models. Because what you would do, or at least this is what I would do, is I would make it so there's a bunch of models and there's maybe there's 3 models, but there's a bunch of textures, right? And those different classes can spawn around the map where mushrooms spawn, and you can harvest them in the forests and the woods and stuff like that, and you can actually do it. But the amount of variation you would have wouldn't have to be incredibly large, but it would have to be large enough to make sense, because like if you only had 4 herbs, it'd be like, well, that doesn't really make sense. Why would each herb make 1 medicine?
Yeah.
So like it's definitely a really cool idea, and it's definitely something that I probably will tackle eventually. It's just a one-man team with some help from a couple people here and there.
And I see that ingot still melting away, so it takes a while.
Oh yeah, it's where's my tongs?
I think they were back there.
Oh, there they are. What's really cool, folks, and I'm still working on this, I want to get it better, is when your ingot is, let's say, the proper temperature to be forged, when you move it, it will look like that.
That's cool.
And if your ingot lowers in temperature, it will go back to being cold when you move it again. I need to fix my ingot problem. But the tongs are required to move anything from the forge to the anvil, by the way. You can't just pick it up.
Just won't let you, or will it damage you?
It won't let you, and it will damage the tongs if you put the anvil close enough that you can drag it from the forge to the anvil. You have to have the tongs in hand no matter what, essentially. Yeah. What's cool here is I made it so my tongs change the grip size based off of what it's holding. These tongs were made by a lad and textured by a lad.
Yep.
He wanted to help. So as you can see, each model is held differently.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, of course, the And as you can tell, I dropped the impure ingot, but I can't pick it up. But watch this. If I do it like this and double click it, boom.
Nice. That's pretty cool, mate. So
Yeah,
I
all this.
suggested maybe a custom sheath for the dagger that goes on certain vests and belts.
Yeah, definitely. It does go on. It does go in the sheath right now. But it looks kind of wonky. So you got that. Go. See, kind of looks a little bit wonky.
That's all right.
Looks like somebody just stabbed it straight through the butt end of it, like they didn't care.
Meh.
I mean, this part right here doesn't look good, I think, because it's actually clipping through, but whatever.
Love it, mate. Fucking love it. That is brilliant. You've definitely left me with a big smile on my dial, mate. This is a mod that I would definitely be adding because this just adds. I know a lot of people look at it and go, "Oh my god, what a grind! Just let me find the shit." But there's a small community of us out there who love seeing stuff like this. Yeah.
What's cool is once I learn how to make configs, configurable times and all that kind of stuff, I can make it so even non-hardcore servers could technically adapt this by just changing the times they don't want necessarily to use. You know, if they don't want people to wait half an hour to melt metal, they can make it, 5 minutes or whatever. You know, I don't really care if they use it on their servers and change the times. But with configs, it would make it so, like, let's say you, Brody, could do it without having any modding experience.
Love it. That's brilliant, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
If people want to support you, mate, how can they do that best?
Do
you have a website?
No. Oh yeah, we have a website. It's called NewDawnDayz.com. But if you want to support me personally, all I ask is people hop onto my mods, give me feedback, constructive feedback, mind you, and allow me to help fix and everything else. I'm pretty sure nobody here would do it, but also make sure you respect that I will tell you to remove my mod if you charge any money for any of my content that I've created, because I make mods for free and put them on the workshop. Why should anybody ever make money off of them?
How can people chip in a few dollars to help pay for some of these models that you get created and stuff?
I'm all myself.
You won't let us chip in a few dollars?
No. I'm sorry. It's just how it works. I make all the models myself. Sometimes other people do models, like Lad did the Tongs model and Amass did the Dagger model, and Lad's done quite a few of my textures, but I'll be putting Lad as a fellow contributor in the forging mod and stuff like that when I put it on the workshop. I share my credit with people who help me do things.
Well, all I can say, mate, is I'm so fucking glad I started doing the podcast, because I doubt I would have become aware of this and gotten to know you if it wasn't through the podcast, mate. Just the people I'm getting to meet. It's nice to know there's some other true believers out there doing God's work for this featurey fucking game we all love called DayZ. You're a good man, mate. You're a good man.
Yeah. Our website, folks, is mostly forums, but it's pretty rich in detail and stuff like that. It's a pretty basic website, but we like it. What was I going to say? Oh, Brody, if you need any further help with your server or anything else, man, just hit me up. I'm more than willing to help you. Not because you're a streamer or whatever, just because it's fun to help people get started. Oh, hey, look, you joined our server on our Discord.
I didn't realize I wasn't already in there, but there's a link to the Discord as well, folks. Probably the best way to leave feedback and communicate regarding the mods and that. So definitely jump on over, join it. Out of character. What's that? Ah, Boydie, welcome. There you go. So yeah, jump on in, join this Discord. It's definitely going to be worthwhile if you are into the PvE interaction focused experience in DayZ. Mate, I have to run. It's almost time for me to jump off.
Right.
I will probably chat with you tomorrow. But yeah, that's some awesome shit right there, mate. As Moonshine says right there, you are the kind of modder I highly respect. If more people would work together, this game would be that much better. Yeah. Yes, it would. Yes, it would, Moonshine.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. If you need more help, and if anybody needs help, don't be afraid to ask me for help, man. Folks, I have helped well over 25 servers set up and get going. I know 6 of them who are still running now, so just hit me up if you need help or want advice or want to learn how to mod. I don't get anything from it other than the fact that I know that there are people helping keep DayZ alive, essentially.
Yeah.
Because it sucks to mod for a dead game.
Okay.
All right.
All the best.
I'm going to jump off, guys.
So much.
See you.
What a good bloke, eh? What a fucking good bloke. We need more people like that in the DayZ community.